If your employer gave you the option to work 10-hour days Mon-Thurs instead of 8-hour days Mon-Fri, would you do it? Why not? Why not? Haha. My work did that. Step 1, if you switch to salary, we will switch your schedule to a 4-day work week. Step 2, make employees work the 5th day because we can't reschedule the morning meetings. Wow. That's bullshit. Seriously. It was so stupid. And they wouldn't give us Friday off because it would promote slacking. So the meeting is at 8 AM on Monday. I had a carpentry job where this happened. Our boss offered your proposed option. We all talked it over and then tried it out. It was a huge success. If we needed to work overtime, we could do it Friday. The regularity of the 3-day weekend was amazing understatement. Getting our crew off-site for a day enabled other departments to come in and do their thing without navigating around us at least once a week. I got a job with better pay eventually, but I still miss it. I work in manufacturing and this is exactly what we do. 10 hours Monday through Thursday, and we can do 8-10 on Friday if we need more production time, which would be overtime. If you don't work Friday, you get 3 days off. We've also done 12 hours a day, 3 days a week. You get 4 days off, which is like a vacation every time. It's incredible. You could even plan a trip in that time. But then, of course, you're doing 12-hour days. Them bitches are long. You'll have these days where you think, remember that time John forgot to close that box and dropped glue everywhere? Oh shit, that was today. And for us it's constant. All day physical work. Can't stop. Can't sit down. I'm currently working on a farm, my first job, and I went from working 6 hours a day to 12 hours a day. Every time I get a break I'm practically falling asleep and my body is beat trying to get my muscles working again. After it stopped for a little, you'll get used to it. I'm assuming you are young and able-bodied. Just take it easy on yourself when you aren't working. Drink a lot of water while at work and after. Eat a duck load of food. Enjoy the free games. I have that option now, except I also get to work 10 hours on Friday. This saves me the cost of going away for a 3-day weekend. So it's economically sound. Sob. Edit fist bump to fellows lives a la people. I get this too, but frequently have to make these Mondays through Fridays 11 to 14 hour days, pending on how much others, mainly my accountants, fail to do their scopes. It also comes with free select weekends, or the weekend work I want. I'm saving so much money on not living my life that I don't even mind that overtime pay doesn't exist for me. I have worked 4/10s for most of the last 5 years. A few months here and there I worked 5/8 feeds. I prefer the 4/10s. First, having a 3-day weekend is amazing. Second, one less commute day a week, so 20% less gas and wear and tear on your vehicle. Third, most holidays fall on a Monday, which makes it a 4-day weekend or mini vacation. Sure, I have to get up a little earlier and stay a little later, but overall I come in before the major traffic and leave after the afternoon rush. It works for me. May not be for everyone. Edit so many questions. I work 4 10-hour days a week. I work at a power plant. I used to work unwed, but just recently swapped to Mon-Thur. My core hours are 6 AM 4 PM. I get up around 4:30 and leave my house by 5. I get home just before 5 PM. If a holiday falls on my day off, then we get to bank 8 hours of vacation. If it falls on a work day, then 8 hours are free, and I have to use 2 hours from my vacation bank. The company offsets this by giving you 1 extra hour of vacation every 2 weeks if you are on 10 hours days. Also, once a year we shut down for maintenance. 30-60 days. That is when the fun starts. We work 6 days a week, 12 hours days, the entire shutdown. It's all or nothing. You either work it or turn it all down, and they hire a temporary additional to make up for the lost time. If they need us to work overtime, we work an extra day. 5/10s get 50 hours for the week and still get 2 days off. Sounds good to me. The only trade-off I can think of is that if you work an office job or sit down all the time, the extra 2 hours will make you feel crappy and low energy when you get out of work. I work 4/10s during the summer cutting grass for my city, and you honestly barely feel the extra 2 hours after a while. Nowadays it just feels like a normal day, mind you. We start slow and end slow, but that's besides the point. The start slow and end slow thing is every blue collar job I've ever had. That's how physical work goes sometimes. You need to get in the swing of it. Now you're moving. And then you're tired. With many manual labor jobs it isn't about how fast you work, but how efficiently you work. No wasted time or movements means you can go slower, but get more done in the end. Some of the best workers I've been with don't look like they are going fast, but they work efficiently, so they are always done early. Yes, I used to have a schedule like that. Your shifts will be a little more of a pain, but you get a 3-day weekend edited, and managing your time will be way easier. You won't regret it. I have an office job, so I would totally prefer that schedule. So would you rather work Mon-Thurs or Tuesdays if you had to do 10-hour days? Definitely Monday through Thursday, because that's what I had before, and it was amazing. It feels like you're off half the week, which is almost true. I'd do Tuesday, Friday. I tried it both ways in college and my weekends felt longer. When I was off Mondays I think it's because I was used to the weekend ending on Sunday, and on Friday I was already in that weekend state of mind. And you feel good about taking a Monday to run errands and do all that shit you've been procrastinating on. Whereas on Friday, it somehow feels wrong. I have an hour each way commute, making a 12-hour day, so I chose to have Wednesday off instead of Friday. Colleagues who take Friday say they are usually so wrecked by the end of the week that their Friday is a write-off anyways. My Wednesday feels like a work week lunch break. It's awesome. At my workplace it goes somewhat differently. The boss wants us to work 10-hour a day Monday to Thursday and then 10 again on Friday. We have the choice whether we come in on the weekend. As we say in advertising, if you're not here Saturday don't bother showing up Sunday. Edit, I did not come up with this myself. They actually had it on shirts at the first ad agency I worked at in 1995. Homer, your boss called. He said if you don't come in tomorrow, don't bother showing up on Monday. Woohoo. 4-day weekend. If those were the only choices, yes. But along with those two options, my job has a third option of 9 hours Monday, Thursday and 8 hours every other Friday, which I find a happy medium that allows me to get frequent 3-day weekends and still allows me time to work out on work days. Now that I have a 9/80 schedule, 80 hours every 2 weeks, 9 hours MTH, every other Friday off, I can't go back to working every Friday. Having every other Friday off is just too convenient. I can plan vacation around my off Friday. I can do errands and appointments on my off Friday. And more importantly, I get to hit the reset button twice a month. 2-day weekends are just too short. Plus when you work 9 hours a day, those 8-hour Fridays feel so brief. How do people find these jobs? I never see this mentioned on job listings, but I feel like it's a huge selling point for wanting to work for the company. Lots of engineering companies do this. Absolutely, those days would be longer, but I could do so much more with regular 3-day weekends than 2-day ones. Exactly, that's one extra day I can tend to my karma farm. Definitely, it's an extra day off. Days already ruined by having to work. So what's 2 hours more per day? I spend 45-60 minutes just to drive to work one-way trip. Not working Friday means I get 2 extra hours not sitting in traffic and I save some gasoline. Not to mention the 10-hour schedule means you may possibly also be commuting outside of rush hour. Duck, yes I would. 3-day weekend. We've actually been pushing for this for years in my office. Edit. Yes, I worked a 10-4 shift for years, and it was great. You barely notice an extra 2 hours a day, but you sure as heck notice an extra day off a week. It also makes it super easy to arrange for appointments like dentist or doctor without having to take time off work, so you can use your vacation days for actual fun stuff. I did that for about 6 months. The weekends were great. I did so much traveling, camping, and weekend getaways, and I had so much time. But the weekdays were not good. Between the commute and the extra hours, I had only about 2 hours in the evening before I had to go bed. So I would just eat some food and then crash. I wouldn't see anyone or talk to anyone besides my coworkers during the work week. It got to the point where I felt like I was living two completely different lives. And it was really weird. I really liked the weekends. But when the scheduling team put me back to MF, I didn't complain. I did it for years too. The extra day off is nice, but people don't realize you don't have an afternoon or much time in the evening to do anything. Yes, I've never had a job where I get weekends off, and I get Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off every week. You bet your ass I would work for 10-hour days. As a civil engineer who works 10 hours a day 6 days a week, this post makes me sad. Nope. Mainly because the employers are not disciplined enough to hold to it. We scheduled a demo to the CEO on Friday. I don't work on Friday. Mind coming in and working? I have a camping trip planned. I thought you were a team player. Can I take Monday off instead? HR won't allow that. This actually was offered to me Monday off, not Friday, but still, and I turned it down. 2 hours later each night puts me home around 7:30-8, literally when my daughter is going to bed. I would only see her on my 3 days off. My wife has a demanding job too, veterinarian, and it took us a while to get our schedule the way we like it. These are the good years, man. I don't wanna miss a thing. Definitely, longer work days balanced out by longer weekends would be nice. Flexible work schedules in general would be good too. How about to 20-hour days? I used to work 10 hours a day Monday through Friday. Heck yeah, I would take that. I've heard that working for 10-hour shifts increases productivity since you feel like you have more downtime. My boss asked me to switch from 8-hour days with just Sat and Sun off to 12-hour days with an alternating schedule of 2 3-day weekends each month, as well as only working 2 days in a row on weekdays. If this makes sense to you, you know it's a sweet deal. Same number of hours each pay period, but with more time for bow hunting season and gaming. This is actually the way I work. It's amazing. No, I had the option with a previous employer, flex time baby, and did that occasionally. Honestly, it just made the 4 days at work worse, and the last 2 hours of the day were almost completely wasted because I was brain dead by the end of the day. That's funny since here in Sweden we are moving towards working 6-hour days instead of 8. However, still free Saturday Sunday. Edit should also add that we have 5 weeks vacation. You are also allowed to take a half-hour break every 5th worked hour. If you lose your job and have an unemployment insurance cost around $15 a month, you get 80% of your previous salary for 100 days, and for additional 200 days you get 70%. After 300 days has passed you get put on a program and get 65%. I remember reading something that said after 6 hours how much productivity is lost. I already have that option. State worker offered flexible work-life balance options. Tried it. That last hour is a bitch and it basically ruins Mon-Thur. Went back to 5 days. Some people take off Wednesday just to break up the week. I mean, honestly, who wants to work 5 days a week? I recently retired from the military after being on call 2-4 hours a day for the past 20 years, where average work days were 12-15 hours long. My current employer doesn't mind when I work, just as long as I work 40 hours per week. I usually have Monday off and work Tuesday. I'll generally work 11 or 12 hours and work the remaining hours on Friday. It doesn't matter how I do it, just as long as I reach 40 hours. Only if the commute was very short or I got credit for working through lunch. 10 hours is a long day, and when you add my 45-minute commute on top of it, it's a bit much. 9 feet and a half day on Friday or 9 feet and alternating Fridays off is a lot easier. Yeah, 2 hours extra a day would make up for an extra day off. 2 days go by so fast I can barely do anything productive. I have done it. Honestly, I think it is kind of diminishing returns. If I'm being real, I have about 6.5 good hours in me. Past that I get less and less done. I always felt when working at 10 I got most of the work I had planned for the day done. and then sat around for 2 hours. I'm sure some folks have the opposite experience, but for me the 10-hour day was boring. The 3 days off were awesome though. I'd rather employers realize that with modern technology many office staff can now accomplish 8 hours of work in 6 hours. In my ideal option, we would work 30 hours a week and still receive full salary. I do this already, sort of. My boss is quite cool with me working my own schedule, as long as I do 2 things. 1, get all my stuff done, and any other project he needed done, to keep my hours at 40. So generally I will just put in 9-hour days Mon-Thurs, and then free as a half day, to finish up any lagging issues before the weekend. I don't have the ability to put a full 10-hour day in Mon-Thurs due to my home obligations and the fact that my husband and I carpool at least 2-3 times a week and he usually is off by 4 p.m.